Now more Good Day Dakota on KX News.
Well, coming up on 6:38, welcome back. We are getting to that time of year where we start to see our first frost and freezes, which of course can impact our crops and home gardens.
That's why in this week's Weather-Wise, Meteorologist Stone Schafer is going over when we could see our first frost of the season. Stone?
Drum roll and all.
Yeah, well, we're getting to that time of year. We usually start to see our first frosts and our first freezes about this time. We've been a little bit warmer than average, so we haven't gotten there quite yet. But how does that frost form? Let's start off. Usually we detect our air temperatures right around 5 feet above the ground. Let's say it's 36 degrees outside. It could be 37. It could be 35, just right above freezing. Well, that cold air is going to sink to the ground where you're seeing temperatures usually a little bit cooler, right around freezing. And that cooler air, as it falls, well, it has water molecules in it, and once those water molecules hit that frozen surface, it'll freeze at touch, creating those ice crystals. That could be on your car, on the sidewalk, on your house, anything that surface is above or at that freezing or below that freezing mark. Our ideal conditions for frost are clear skies, light winds, moisture in the air, and temperatures into the 30s. So we haven't quite, again, got there yet. We've had some days close, but not so much, only about a day or so, and we'll see if that continues to be the trend. So what is the difference between a frost and a freeze? Well, a frost is a formation of thin ice crystals on the ground and other surfaces in the forms of scales, needles, feathers, and fans. This frost develops under conditions similar to dew, but except the temperatures of the Earth's surface and other objects are below 32 degrees. And when it comes to freezes, a freeze is when the surface air temperature is expected to be below freezing. So not just the ground, we're also talking about the air being frozen, and you're looking at widespread areas for a long period of time where you see that below freezing temperature. And this term is usually restricted to effective situations or occasions when the wind or other conditions prevent frost. So maybe some cloud cover or heavier wind could prevent that frost. So when is our first freeze normally here on average? Well, it's right around mid to late September. There are some areas out to the east where it's about that early October time range, and we're there already, so we should already be seeing on average our first freeze, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that, at least for the month of September. There has been now a signal that the start of October, we could see some mornings in the 30s. Things are still far away, but there is that sign, and I want to take a look, because we're so late into the season, when is our latest first freezes usually been, or how late into the season do we normally get that first freeze if it is a late season? It's usually those first couple of weeks of October, so again, some signals are saying we may go longer than that. There are some other signals that we could see our first frost and freeze as we head into October. And I also want to remind people there has been a change. The National Weather Service has changed some of the wording when it comes to some of these warnings. So now a hard freeze watch and a freeze watch will all be the same under a freeze watch, and a hard freeze warning and a freeze warning will all be considered a freeze warning. That starts October 1st when we see those changes, right when we could see some of those watches get issued. So remember to continue sending your questions so I can answer them here weekly on Weather-Wise.
And you can do so by heading over to our website at kxnet.com, click on weather, then Weather-Wise.
And that's where you're going to see a link that lets you submit your